welcome to this session, interview session on Brand India Women in Business Awards. And today we have with us a very vibrant personality, Mrs. Sonia Rajesh, who happens to be the Kerala coordinator for We Kerala. And today we will be in discussion with her to get to know more about what she can tell us about herself. Hello, Sonia. Welcome to this interview session.
Hello, Priya. Thank you so much.
Can we start by getting to know something about yourself, Sonia? Can you tell me something about yourself?
Yes.
Basically,
I am from Kerala, but currently I am in Raipur. And I had all my education from Kerala. After my marriage, I came to Bhilai, where my husband was working with Bhilai Steel Plant. Then had a series of transfers. And from Bhilai, I started my career as a small teacher in a school. And as we traveled through the nation, through different states, my career started changing. And now I'm again back to Chhattisgarh at Raipur.
That is wonderful to hear, Sonia. How would you describe yourself professionally?
As a career-minded person, I would really describe myself as a language trainer, motivational speaker, and I'm also into online IELTS training, as well as taking tuitions for students from both across India as well as abroad too.
Wonderful. Like, has teaching always been a passion with you that way?
Yes, I always used to love teaching, especially small kids. And as years went by, I started training adults too.
Wonderful. So, are these sessions generally like, is it a virtual session that you hold, the training session, or has it been so only after the pandemic? Were you holding physical sessions also?
Yeah, long back when I was in Kerala, from 2015 to 2018, I did the offline sessions. But again, from 2019, my husband got a transfer and then we went to Tamil Nadu. So the option left for me was mainly taking online sessions. So
I see.
not because of the pandemic.
I'm sorry to interrupt, Sonia. Like, could you sit a little bit up because just your face is visible and would like to have more. Yeah. Thank you. I understand that you are into this training field. You have been into this for quite some time, mainly because of your passion for teaching, to be with children and adults alike. So may I know, like, how did this business concept enter your mind? How was it that you, it sort of came to you as a business idea?
Actually, I was never a business person because none of my family members did any business till now. Both my parents were doctors, and I'm a single child. It was once I was traveling in my car when one of the drivers asked me. He heard me speaking English fluently to one of my friend, and he was very passionate about learning, and he was very ambitious. So he asked me in Malayalam, ma'am, why don't you start a course or write a book about English language so that the common man could understand. That thought, gave me a spark, and I thought, yes, because there are lots of institutions who are having these courses, and they do charge exorbitant rates, but none of them must have ever thought about helping the common man. So I really wanted to start something, and it was never a business in that times. I didn't have any business idea at all. So, excuse me. So I converted one of my flats, which was lying vacant, and started a small, classes there. Rather than an institute, I started a small class there.
This was in Kerala, or was it after you came to Raipur?
No, this was in Kerala, at Calicut, my hometown.
Oh, I see. Okay. So then after your marriage, after you came to Raipur, that continued, is it?
Yeah, I continued it through online sessions.
Okay. So even before the pandemic, you were like totally, you were online totally. Your
Yeah,
work
yeah,
online.
yeah. Once I went back to Trichy, when my
Okay.
husband got transferred, I started doing online classes only.
Okay. Can you tell me more about the classes that you conduct? Uh,
The classes which I conduct are, of
ah,
course, communication skills,
okay.
all the modules, listening, speaking, reading and writing, then
Mhm.
business English, and it
Mhm.
covers all parts like, I train people in email writing and all those things.
Okay.
And I had worked as an IELTS trainer for about 2 to 3 years in Calicut. So if someone asks for an IELTS training, I do that also. Then I always felt that it is the youth should have development in their skills. So then I got to know two friends of mine who also had the same passion, and so we clubbed together, and then we coordinated sessions in Excel, PowerPoint, and another one with who's making amazing websites. He's teaching amazing how to make amazing websites at a very nominal fee. So these are the classes which I'm taking, and I also conduct public speaking and tuitions for students across India and abroad.
Oh, I see. Okay, fine. I understand that you're going through this wide variety of courses that you are actually teaching a lot of people. What I understand also is that this field of training is a very competitive one. There are a lot of people who are into similar, skill training and all that. So, how do you manage to keep up with this competition?
I
Is there
always
any
There's no secret at all. I always think that if you are good at heart and you are doing the work with full passion, and then things start working out for you. You don't need too much of advertisements and all, and that name itself will spread. People will start, telling, will help you out. So that is how I've been, trying to at least
you
reduce the
have not been affected by any sort of competition whatsoever, right?
because I've never thought of myself as a big person. I mean, big institutional runner, owner, and all. So I never felt any competition. So that is it.
Okay, great. So how do you advertise this business of yours? Like you want more and more people to know about it. You want them to come. You want them to get themselves trained with you. So how do you advertise yourself in this?
Since now everyone has turned into the social media, I'm also doing that.
Mhm.
I mainly use our WhatsApp and then Instagram and LinkedIn. I'm not using it much. And of course, and I've also created a small website of my only last month, and I've
Mhm.
published it too. But I have to actually build up it. I haven't built it up more. It's a small website.
Okay.
So I'm then, of course, I'm trying the help of my friends who can really help me out.
Okay. So you have sort of started building up your dream and you're thinking of
Yeah,
scaling also,
yeah,
mainly through digital marketing, right?
yes.
That is wonderful, Sonia. That's wonderful. So I would want to know, like, do you have any team members in this enterprise, or do you have any partners or any employees as such who can help you in this? Because conducting it alone might be quite stressful. So do you have anybody who has joined you in this in accomplishing this dream of yours?
In fact, two friends of mine, you can't really call them partners or colleagues. They are actually trainers, and
Okay.
in fact, one of them, the person whom I told you about the web development section, he was taking in Kerala only. So suddenly, I felt that why should this thing only be restricted to Kerala? In fact, I've seen many trainers doing good trainings in Kerala, but due to their communication skills, they couldn't speak English fluently or Hindi, and they're just restricted to their own, native place. So I asked him, suppose I get you trained in English, can you start taking these sessions at least in North India, where I am currently based? So he said, yes, ma'am, kindly help me out. Then I really took a session of his session in English, and then we had several 2 to 3 mock sessions, and from that then I started promoting him, and now he's having at least 4 batches. Is already over in the web development sessions, and another one is she's an HR recruiter trainer, so she's taking the Excel sessions and PowerPoint. So you can't really call them partners, but we help each other. That is
Sort of a teamwork like thing. You work together.
yeah.
And Sonia, like, what exactly, it is for others to know also, like what exactly are you looking for when you're building up a team? Because today you have a couple of people join with you. Tomorrow it might be more people with more scope, field of interest. So what exactly do you look for in such a team when you partner with them or when you team up with them?
Any team will work only if there is, coordination, proper understanding, proper communication between the team members. And also one thing I feel is in any company or any organization, people should be trustworthy, and honesty is another thing which I'm looking for in my people in my team. And also
Sonia?
I'm a very passionate person about, if I'm given something, I go to any limits to make sure that thing happen. So I really would like to have that same quality in my team members also, and punctuality, and also skill development. They should be well versed in the skill what they are doing. So these are some other qualities which I am looking for in the people in my team.
Great. Now, talking about your enterprise and your journey so far, I'm sure in all these years you would have achieved a considerable bit of success. You would be satisfied by what you're doing, what you have done so far. So, may I know, Sonia, what is that one? What do you attribute your success to?
I attribute, although I don't feel myself as a successful person, and I do really feel that I have miles and miles to go, and but still, the smaller bit of success which I feel is, I attribute it to the honesty and dedication and trustworthiness which I am trying to provide to my students.
Wonderful. Sonia, like there would be a lot more other trainers who would want to do the things that you do right now. They would be looking up to you and wanting to travel the same journey that you have done. So, what advice would you give to those people who want to follow your footsteps?
First of all, I would ask them, tell them that they should actually do a market survey, how things are happening, and actually start doing these things at first in a free manner, where they can really be, confident, like they can do. Like if somebody is having some skills in public speaking or motivational speaking, they should actually start taking, some practice, where once they really get experience and people start acknowledging them, they should start their institute, and they should walk in as a step by step manner. Priya, am I audible?
Sonia?
Yes, I'm audible. You're audible. Am I audible?
Hello?
Hello, Priya. I can hear you. I can hear you. Yes.
You can hear, yes.
Yes.
Right. So you're looking for like they should be credible. They should have that trustworthiness, and that's what you were telling us, Sonia.
Yeah.
May I know, like, I'm fully in praise for what all you have done and your way of working. And may I know how has it helped your community or the people around you in any way? How has this training session, has it contributed in any way? Are you giving back something to the society in some way? What do you feel about it?
Yes, currently, as I told you, I am in a township where it's actually a rural area only, and where only our companies not our companies, Ultratech Cement's employees are there, and many of these wives, the spouses, they do not know much English, but they really have a passion to develop themselves. So I'm trying to give them sessions through WhatsApp and all, and many of them, even the children, have joined it. And this is how I'm trying to help the community, which is closer to me now. And if I am in Calicut, I try to connect people with, there also. That is the way I am trying to give back to the society.
Wonderful. That's very praiseworthy indeed.
Thank you.
I'll go on to the next question. Like, as a woman, Sonia, I'm sure we all have faced challenges in our journey. So, as a woman, what are the have you faced any such challenge in your life, in your professional journey?
Yes, because the one thing I really find it difficult is to say a no to a thing. So this is really has been a challenge for me in my professional journey also. So sometimes you have to say no at points where it should be, and otherwise it can prove stressful at a later stage. This is one challenge which I have had faced during my journey.
I think a lot of women face the same challenge. You just
Yeah.
want to say no. Right. Sonia, like, what advice would you give to somebody who would want to start off a training session, who would want to enter the field of training? What advice would you give?
First of all, the person should really have the passion for training. Otherwise, he or she wouldn't be able to gain success in that. And of course, there are so many nowadays. There are even train the trainer programs, especially in Kerala, and also I do think across India also they can attend those sessions and attend several free sessions and keep their sessions also. And after once they gain confidence, they can really start training at several institutes or organizations or set up their own training institute. That is what I feel.
Wonderful. So you feel that training, the field of training, is definitely, it's got a bright side to it.
Yeah, sure. Yes.
Picking up, it will pick up and it will do good in future too.
Yeah, because trainers are needed in every field. So it's a really, a big one where if people really want to earn their name and success, it will be surely.
Absolutely, that's true. Sonia, like, just to jog your memory, do you remember your very first assignment? I mean, can you feel the thrill of having landed up your first assignment? And do you remember what, can you explain, give me?
Yeah, actually, before becoming a freelance trainer, I had joined one of my friends' institute. Like when I was in Kerala, I thought of I just start taking spoken English classes. So at a school, reunion, we met each other, and we were never close friends earlier when we were in school. But suddenly, I just asked her. She's currently running the institute in Calicut only, whether I can come and teach at your institute. It was simply like that. She said, okay, you come along. And when I went there, in fact, her IELTS batch was going on, and I am not at all, I did not pass IELTS at all. But I am also a content writer. I had this passion for writing also. So then she said, why don't you just sit and see me teaching students? And I sat in the classroom. One of the students said something wrong. I just simply pointed out. So then the next day onward, she said, don't come for spoken English. You start the IELTS training itself. So then she gave me the books, and then I started training the students, especially in writing, which is, of course, a bit difficult for everyone. But that was the first assignment which I got after so many years.
Great to know that. And Sonia, like, this is a field where credibility is much looked upon. Like, we require our trainers to have a certain amount of credibility. So how did you muster that?
As I told you earlier, if you are doing something with good intentions in your heart and you're passionate about doing something, things will come up for you. And I feel that, in that way, I got the credibility.
So have another question which I would want to know is, Sonia, have you had any developed any key partnerships with anybody just to further your business? Have you got into any such key partnerships which would improve you, which would help you scale up on whatever you're doing currently?
Like, I haven't developed any key partnerships with anyone else. Like, there are several women entrepreneurs in the training field. So sometimes I do connect with them and take online sessions for them also, and I invite them to come up on my platform and take sessions. So it is, in fact, helping each other. So no solid key partnership has been formed till now, but these are things which I am currently doing. And I also started a small interview sessions also, which is called the Chit Chats with Sonia, where I've done 2 episodes till now, where I am planning to bring many career experts from different, fields, so that they can they can talk about their journey, how they reach there, what are the pros and cons of each field, so that the current generation will get an idea about, before they are plunging into that field, they'll know what is going to happen. Like, if someone is going to be a entrepreneur making food at a home, and then selling it, what challenges they may have to face, and how will they reach there. So 2 sessions are already over, so I'm planning to bring in more, especially from arts, music, and all those kinds. So that is my new venture.
Great, great. So it's basically giving life's lessons through these.
Yeah.
So talking about life's lessons, like we all make mistakes in our lives, like especially in our entrepreneurial journey, it is not complete without making any mistakes. So do you remember the biggest mistake that you have made? Because it's just to, can you share it with others?
Yeah, surely. The biggest mistake is, since I was not a business person, I didn't know, I didn't really know how the social media works. And I had actually given a lot of amount to an advertising agency to help me out get social media visibility. And of course, they did help me by bringing out the leads and all. But since I was not, I didn't know, I was not aware of all those nuances. So, in fact, that money didn't, the money I spent on them was not useful for me. So after that, I started looking at the leads and calling them on my own and all. But that is one mistake. Never, put up lots of money like that. One has to be careful.
Yes, you're absolutely correct over there. It's like you need to be very careful about where you entrust your profession. And Sonia, like, let us, if we can ask you about your personal life, like, may I know who all? Can I know a little bit about your family?
Yeah, as I told you, I'm a single child. Both my parents are not alive now. They passed in the year 2018, and both were doctors in Kerala, Calicut. And my family consists of my husband, Mr. Rajesh Shankar, who is currently heading the Ultratech cement plant at Baikunt, Raipur. And my 2 children, my daughter Smera, who is who's going to be 20 this 28th, February 28th, and she's doing her BSc second year at Bangalore St. Joseph's College. And I have a son, Suraj, who will be going to class 9th. That is my small family.
That's nice to know, Sonia. So, how do you balance this work and life responsibilities? It's something which every woman finds difficult at some juncture or the other. So,
yes,
how do you do that?
that is really difficult question for me also, because at times I am not able to, I'm finding it a bit difficult to manage, but I'm trying to cope with that. because so many years my children never saw me as a professional or an entrepreneur. They've also always seen me as a mom, always being with them, and my husband also. But this is something, a new avatar. They're seeing me within 2 years, so it is a bit difficult for them also. But anyway, I am trying in my small way to currently schedule all the meetings, whatever I have in the mornings, and sessions also in the mornings, and try to spend my some time when my husband comes back, and when of course, since it's Corona, son is not going to school, so almost that way I'm trying to spend.
Yes, that's nice. And Sonia, may I ask, do you have any role model in life?
Uh, in fact, my role model was always my mom. She was a very confident person, and not no, um, not anyone.
Okay, so it's your mom who has been inspiring you
Yeah, she,
through her, which is
yeah.
very, very nice about it.
She had several health issues, and
Uh-huh.
but till her end, she fought bravely for that. So I see her as a role model.
Beautiful, beautiful. And Sonia, I think we've come to our last question in this interview session, and I would, you have been a member of CIMSME for quite some time now. Can I know, like, how exactly, or have you benefited out of this association? Like, is there any, can you brief us on that?
In fact, there are no words to describe CIMSME from my this thing. I am truly, truly humbled to be here because as I told you, I was a simple homemaker who didn't have any idea about all these things. And I don't know, maybe as God's gift, or I'm sitting along with you people, Santoshi and our dear friend Abarna. What can I say? And in fact, tears are welling up in my eyes. And in this interview, I don't. It's the benefit that has given me the exposure with people across India. I'm yet to connect with people abroad, and it is immense. And it is, it has helped me to understand. Yes, I am worthy. I feel that self worth. So thank you so much. I can't say thank you is not enough.
I can understand your emotion, Sonia. Yes, it is very true. So anyway, thank you very much for that very, it was an introspective session, and I'm all praises for what you do. I'm sure a lot of people are inspired by what you are doing, and I'm sure will be lots more who would want to follow in your footsteps too. Keep doing whatever you're doing, and God bless. Thank you, Sonia. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Priya. It was really, very a good session with you, and I really felt very nice. And thank you, Santoshi, and thank you, Aparna, and thank you, dear CIMSME.